we are in a very exciting time once again because it's our launchpad call this evening. And I'm excited to be your host once again tonight. And let me know if there's anyone here that are new, we welcome you. Welcome to Opulence Global family. And if you've been here from before, of course, enjoy the moment of our opulence, of our launchpad call. And of course, like what as always, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone, wherever you are from in the world, right? My name again is Nada Jangrosso. I am your lifestyle director too of Opulence Global Canada. And once again, I'm honored and privileged to be your host tonight on this call. And of course, this is a training call that it is very important for us to participate with because it helps us grow our business. Of course, I love to introduce to you our presenter for tonight, our lovely Miss Rebecca Robinson, who was born and raised in the Ottawa area. And from a very young age, she understood the benefits of having a part-time home-based business. Rebecca was able to see that this kind of business was flexible enough for anyone to do and provided better benefits than a regular job. She launched her first network marketing business with a skincare company while in the university and enjoyed success almost immediately. Rebecca got her degree in music but he went on to pursue various jobs that have included training on sales, customer service, and most notably property management. Well, when Rebecca saw this opportunity almost 17 years ago, she knew right away that she was home and launched with the top package with this company, our Opulence Global. Since that time, her business has grown into over 42 countries with a team of 647 people and continuously growing. She's one of our team leaders in Ottawa and one of our global qualified presenters. I know you will enjoy her once again tonight and what she has to share with us tonight. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Rebecca Robinson.
This is a wild ride already tonight, everyone.
I hope you have heard my introduction about you, which is, you are a super powerhouse anyways, right? So take it away. All right.
I heard most of it.
All right, wonderful. Okay.
I'm just gonna share my screen. All right, awesome. Yes, a few of you are seeing it. You're right. So, have no fear. We're gonna take this next 30 days action plan and get it rolling. So thank you everyone for your patience. We're a little slow tonight. We have a lot of information to cover. So I hope you have your note-taking utensils, laptops, however you are doing it. Hello, everyone. Nada, thank you so much for the amazing introduction. I love it. All right, your next 30 days action plan. This is about a roadmap. How many of you are old enough to have at some point kept maps in your car? Not the GPS on the phone, not the GPS in your car, actual road maps. I know because of FERI Flawless, I don't look that old, but I used to have multiple different road maps in my car, and I love maps. And that is what your next 30 days, if you're just in this for a hobby and to make a few extra dollars a month, you don't need any of this. But if you are what I think you all are, and that is serious about making some extra income, maybe about creating a real legacy for your family, then you have to have a roadmap. When you take a trip, you can't just get in the car and drive and not know where you're going, right? And that's what this is about. So, this is about establishing your DMO, your daily method of operation. All right, this is something I really want you to remember. DMO. How are you operating? How are you guiding yourself through each day? And this is about incorporating IGAs, which are income generating activities. I want you to write that down. Write down DMO, that's your daily method of operation, and write down IGAs, income generating activities. So yes or no in the chat. Does scrolling on Facebook count as an IGA, an income generating activity? Let's see who's awake. Mary Christine says no. Elizabeth, no. Only 2 people say no. I'm not talking about messaging people. I'm talking about scrolling and watching videos. I would say that's probably not an income generating activity. All right. Does organizing your home office count as an income generating activity? Yes or no? We have a yes, we have a no, we have a no, we have a yes. Okay, so we're at 50-50 on that. No, it is not an income generating activity to organize your home office. Otherwise, mine that is in mid process here, that would be bringing me cash flow. It does not. Okay, does watching training videos, is that an income generating activity? That's kind of a trick question. Yes or no? Yes? Mavis says yes. Yes? Yes? Okay, so you all think that watching training videos is an income generating activity? No, it is not. Income generating activities are things that are going to put money in your pocket. So that was kind of a trick question because training obviously is a necessary component. You have to know how you're going to build your business, but that is not an income generating activity. What we're talking about are actual activities that are going to get you new customers, get you new team members, and actually build your business, build your income, and build your empire if that's what you want. So we need the roadmap, right? This is about creating a work schedule for your opulence business. Show me in the chat, how many of you have ever had a part-time job or maybe even a full-time job? Yes, we have part-time jobs. How many of you have had a full-time job and a part-time job? There are many people that do that. In fact, I have some part-time staff in my team that that's all their second jobs. Right. Okay. So you need to know when you're going to actually work your business, just like if you had a part-time job. Now I hire a cleaner to clean in one of my buildings at work. And if I just say, hey, come and clean the building and I'll pay you, like, is that going to work? I don't think so. Right. In fact, they're actually working tonight. They work on Tuesday nights, they work on Thursday nights, and they work on Saturdays. And they have specific hours. So our business is really no different. If you leave it up to the willy-nilly, I'll do it when I feel like it, you're probably not going to do it. So you need to have your roadmap. You can use this form. You can use whatever you want. If you have a day planner, if you have a calendar, I suggest highly against using these little tech gadgets because they just suck you into other things, right? And they're designed to do that. So old school pen and paper, make yourself a schedule. This is the beginning of your roadmap. Now, your daily method of operation has multiple components to it. You have someone you want to connect to, and this is going on to the Opulence Nation. Actually, it's going into your website first, into your back office, seeing if you have any new customers, seeing if any of the partners that are in your team have made purchases, and then send them a quick message and say thank you. You're going to go into the Opulence Nation Facebook group and welcome new partners. This could be about prospecting and making appointments and leading you to ranking up to the next level. Your second DMO is that you need something to say. So this is about following scripts and following the guidelines that we have. We have lots of different scripts available and lots of different chat groups where we can all share different scripts as well. You want somebody to present to. So again, this is about presenting the products to new customers or presenting the business opportunity and you're using your tour presentation to other people. Infinite follow-up and asking for a referral, and then duplicate, right? Rinse and repeat. Write that down. Rinse and repeat. I know there's 5 steps here, but really it's rinse and repeat. Okay, so that's your basic DMO, and we're going to go through these. So someone to connect. The plan is to build your prospect and customer list, right? How many of you, oh, this is an embarrassing question. You're probably not going to want to answer. So, type a number if you know how many people do you actually have on your current list, on your prospect list. So for some of you, if you're new, maybe your list is about 25, 30, 40 people. I don't know. For some of us who've been around a long time, we could potentially have 1,000, 2,000 different people on our list because the list is always growing, right? So this is about building a strong prospect and customer list because it's essential for the growth and sustainability of your Opulence business. This is a strategic plan to help you attract, engage, and retain a valuable customer base. And I don't know if many of you have ever heard this before, but it's much easier to keep a customer than it is to find a new one. Remember, it takes about minimum 7 contacts of information or touch points or viewings, whatever. It takes about 7 to 10, I think is the number of interactions before somebody will purchase a product. And so you want to have this list constantly growing because you're going to go back to people and be giving them, testimonials and follow-ups and different things. Once you have your list, which will always be growing, you're always going to be meeting new people. You're always going to be adding. I added 2 more people to my list today, just through having a business meeting with them about property management. And so as you're growing your list, you're going to want to define your target customer as well. Now, making connections in your list, many of you have gone through these exercises before. You can actually, you can Google ideas for prospect lists as well. You'll find tons and tons and tons of stuff. But just a few listed here. You can use these as memory joggers to help create your client and prospect master list that you're going to be working on. So you have your VIP list, which is previous networking contacts, qualified family and friends, advertising leads. You're going to have who is your accountant, your bank officer, your carpet cleaner, your congressperson, on and on and on. These are people that you're interacting with in your daily life. And then who was a service buddy? Who did you go to school with? Who did used to be your teacher or professor? Who's your old boss? On and on and on. Basically, like every part in your life will give you ideas for people that you can use to help create this list. Whoops. Let's go back just for a second. I want to really point something out here. So you've got who lives next door, who teaches your children, who is related to you, who sold you your boat, your car, your carpet, your computer, like all these different things, right? What I really want to point out is, especially for people who are new in the industry, they really get caught up on family and friends. If you're showing the tour to somebody and then you're getting feedback from them after and they say, well, I don't really know anybody, you can see, or they say, my friends and my family, they're not going to be interested in this. Well, you're not going to grow your business from your friends and family. I mean, you might start to grow some of it, but just looking at the chat and all the experienced people we have in here and new people in here, I'd love to hear from some of our seasoned veterans. Is the majority of your team from friends and family? Yes or no? Or would you say that the majority? No. So no, we've got some friends. No, no. See? So you have and I'm looking at who's in the chat here. We have people from like the Caribbean, from Canada, from I don't know where Sanjay's from. I'm sorry to say. I'm going to get to know. All over the world, though, right? You're building your team from people that are all over the place, not necessarily your friends and family. So this is why it's important to make your list. Your list is actually going to give you confidence that there are a lot of people out there who are looking for opportunities, who are looking for better products to use, and who would love to support you. All right, yes, Philippines, of course, is here. Yeah, and Maria is saying, I build my business with cold market. So do I, Maria. Absolutely. So find your customer why. Once you have your list, you want to be looking for your customer why. So that's their motivation. That's their pain points. This is why they would actually want to use your products or work with you. So you need to be able to have conversations with people where you're asking questions that help you identify the challenges or desires that our products or our business opportunities or both can actually address. You want to be able to use this to resonate with your audience. And if they've considered working from home, you want to lead the discussion around the business opportunity and the benefits. So this is really why we train on form. For the seasoned veterans, if somebody can pop in the chat what form means, that would be really great. And then you're going to turn your single product customer into multi-product households. So definitely you want to have your conversations around what is this person's life about, right? What's their family about? What's their occupation? What's their recreation? What do they do for hobbies? And what are their motivations? Is it money, or is it, some other thing? You want to find out what drives your customers and helps and get them to those decisions that lead them towards our products, and gets them to take action towards the products and services, right? What are they motivated by? Are they motivated by convenience? One of the things I love about our anti-aging skincare is that it is a so super simple system. The 3 S's, right? Super simple system. It doesn't take 7 or 8 steps. I don't have to have multiple containers on my countertop. And by the way, when you're traveling, that makes it even more onerous, right? Are they motivated by cost savings because they can buy our products in bulk and get cost savings? Are they motivated by status because we have the luxury products that are going to help, demonstrate an elevated status? Or are they looking for personal fulfillment? And maybe the reason why they want to have a business with us is because they have the need, or they have the desire for extra income, but they also want to be able to help people while they're doing that, and we can offer them all of these different things. So you want to define your target customers, and sometimes this can be challenging because we have 1,000 different products, right? This is what I do love about what we have, though, because it is not a one size fits all. You define your target customers, and you stop and think about the actual individual you're talking to, or the group of people you're talking to, and you kind of break it up into those demographics. You want to understand key characteristics. You want to understand, age approximately, gender, that has different needs and desires sometimes, income level, location, interests, and tailor your products to those audiences, tailor your conversations to those people. So if you're speaking with somebody who's younger, maybe they have a moderate or a lower income, well, you're not going to promote FERI Mosh to them. They're not likely to have the income for FERI Mosh. They're not likely to have even necessarily the desire in it. And that's what's amazing about our Posh line. It's young, it's fresh, it's really inexpensive in terms of luxury fashion. And then you have your mature higher income group, and they're the ones that you're going to tailor to FERI and FERI Mosh for the luxury appeal. Now, we don't want to judge a book by its cover, but this helps you define what you're talking to, because when you're sharing products and our business with people, it has to be relatable. They have to look at it and think, yes, I relate to that. I resonate with it. That's something that I could easily promote and share with people. Then there's the lifestyles, right? So you align values and buying behavior with individuals with your offering. So kind of in line with what I said already. FERI Microsilver, you're going to target the individuals with great dental health, right? Maybe you see somebody who has beautiful, perfect white teeth, like my cousin who's a dental hygienist. Her teeth are perfect. So, I'm going to appeal to that. You want to keep your teeth looking nice and white and strong. We have a whole microsilver line with our mouthwash, our mouth spray, our toothpaste. There's Divine, so that's perfect for athletes who often deal with pain from the intense workouts or just want to be constantly optimizing their health, right? So I have tenants who own fitness places. That's a perfect place for me to market the Divine and the Fountain of Life. Then you have Fairy and Posh. This is for somebody with style or somebody who needs style or who is looking for style, right? So you take a minute to compliment their taste and ask if they've ever considered a career in the fashion industry. I'll tell you, now I will tell you this secret. It's a little easier for ladies to do this, but if you're doing it in a nice way, just complimenting a woman on her purse or her shoes or a bracelet or anything. I mean, I do this in line at the grocery store all the time. And you can start up a conversation with that and end up sharing your fashion drop cards with them and getting their information. Maybe they aren't looking for an extra income, but they want unique products and they like to have things that other people don't have. And then there's the community engagement activists. So this is highlighting the Opulence Cares and it attracts a broader audience. So we actually aren't very good at that segment. I don't think. I rarely see posts about community engagement and activism. But one of the things I love now also about the gift cards is that you can use the gift card program to promote how Opulence cares, and you can do fundraising things with gift cards that you couldn't really do before. So it's pretty exciting to be able to do that. Now, we talk about having a hotshot list, and this is your top 7 people that you're closest to that you really. One of the beautiful things about this business is that you get to actually work with people you want to work with, right? I mean, if you pop in the chat, tell me how many of you have worked in a job before that it was not a pleasant workplace and you didn't get to choose the people you were working with, but you had to stick it out because, you had to take care of yourself, right? I think most of us have been in that kind of situation at one time or another. Maybe even the workplace was good, but there was that one person who was really toxic and bringing the team down, and you didn't get to choose that. This is what I love about network marketing and Opulence. We get to choose who we work with. I have met people before that I would share my products with that I would never share the business opportunity with because I don't want their toxic energy in my team. I want them to be a customer. They can bring me other people, but I get to be selective about this. And this is what I love about this business. You can pick people who think like you. So that could be a good or bad thing. We want people to enhance our weak areas, right? So you don't always want to have all people who think like you, but you get to design the culture of your business from scratch. And so this is amazing. You want to think about people who think like you in terms of being open-minded, looking for opportunity, risk takers a little bit, right? Because we're not afraid to go outside the box. We're not afraid to do things that other people aren't normally doing. You want to have somebody that has the same work ethics as you. So, there's nothing worse than being a hard worker and the person sitting next to you is just expecting you to do all the work, right? That's not the way this goes. You want to have somebody with determination like you, that who wants lives to change and just like you, that they will do whatever it takes to change just like you. Again, that's being open-minded, and somebody who will never stop or give up until they've achieved what they want to achieve, right? All these things, we don't always think about this. We just think, oh, I got to go out and find people and build my team. But really, you can save yourself a lot of time when you can refine the type of people that you want to have in your team. And if you are going to go out and look for those people who want this versus people who need it. So write that down, write that in the chat, want versus need. You want to focus on the people who want it, because I'm telling you, there are tons of people who want it and they will work harder than the people who need it. Most, I would say 9 times out of 10. I mean, I see that in traditional jobs too. All right, so then you want to engage with your target customers, right? So you want to remember that conversations lead to actions. So you want to get creative with the questions that spark meaningful discussions and could potentially result in new VIP shoppers or team brand partners. So we are blessed in that we have technology where we can get on a chat and we can, message somebody on Facebook or Messenger or wherever, and we can chat back and forth. But at some point, you need to get into a conversation with people, because there's nothing that replaces the person-to-person conversation, and it will go faster. Chat is limited. Chat is good for an initial, are you open to taking a look? Great. Then let's get on a call, or even at least use voice messaging so that people can hear your tone, they can hear your enthusiasm, they can hear your inflections. But always, conversation in person is the best way to go, because you get to use the body language and the tone and everything you're hearing in that person's voice as well, right? When you're asking them, do you enjoy bulk shopping with massive discounts? How would you feel about tax-free shopping? Not in Canada, but how would you feel about tax-free shopping or access to high quality, safe products? Are you dealing with pain? I have a product that can help you. Suffering from certain health conditions, you need the fountain of life. I have this product that can help you with so many different things. You want it to be a conversation, because that's also building their confidence in you, that you're there to help guide them along, help them to make a decision for products that are going to actually help their life be easier, maybe pain-free, and maybe help them make some extra income. So we have some approach scripts here, and these are about creating curiosity. I heard this a lot, even in the beginning of my opulence time. Create curiosity, create curiosity. And I'm going to be straight up with all of you. I used to get frustrated when I heard that, because I didn't really know what it meant. But really, it's just tweaking people's, thought process. So you're giving them a bit of information, but you're not, somebody said this to me a long time ago, you're not throwing up all the information on them, right? You're just going to give them enough to want to come back for more. So, hi Sandra, I came across an amazing opportunity that combines financial freedom and luxury living. It's exactly the kind of next level lifestyle that we like. It's something new and could be life-changing. Are you open to taking a quick look? Because I'd love to share more. Easy. Now what you've told them is, oh, there's an opportunity. Oh, luxury living. I like that. But really, you haven't told them anything about the business. You're just opening up their mind. You're knocking on the door of their mind, and they're hopefully going to open it up and say, yes, come on in. I want to find out more about it. So here's some approach tips that work like a charm. Warm and inviting. Keep it short and personal. Use people's names. One of the things that I got to practice in hosting is, addressing people by name. Even now, I try to do it. I'm not quite highly skilled at watching the chat and doing some training, but I'm getting better at it. And if you don't know somebody's name, asking them, how do they pronounce it? We're a very, very global village here in Opulence. And so I know that sometimes I have a bit of a challenge with people with Asian names, and I would expect that they might have a challenge with my very English name. I mean, it just makes sense, right? But when we use somebody's first name, it makes it very personal. It makes them understand that we actually are caring about them, that they're not just a number, that we actually want to help with whatever their needs are. And in this day and age, that's just more important than ever. People are missing connection. And this is a really, really, really easy way for you to stand out in their minds and for them to remember you and to actually want to do business with you. So build curiosity, because it's about them, right? It's about them, and focus on the financial or the luxury or the exclusivity part. And you're going to spark interest without revealing too much information. You don't want to throw it all on the table right from the get-go. And then use effective communication. So you're going to end with a question that they can say yes to, right? So you're going to offer the prospect two specific options for meeting times, like, is Tuesday night good or Saturday afternoon better? Now, it doesn't matter if you have 2 or 3 days in between that you also are available. Give them two options that are a little bit apart, because what I find normally is if a person can't meet you at either of those times, they're going to suggest another time too. And then you go from there. If they remain unavailable still, then just follow up again. Put them in your forensic box and schedule your follow-up time with them. That goes back to your roadmap DMO, right? And you're going to schedule and then follow up with them again in a week or a month or whatever the timing is right for that person. All right, do we have, we're a little bit past the halfway mark. Do we have any questions right now? Chat looks kind of quiet. I hope you're all with me. I'm kind of flying through because we have a pretty busy night. So let's talk about, I see some hearts. Okay, great, good. So let's talk about telling your story and crafting your 12-minute story. No, just joking. 2-minute story. People don't have attention spans now, okay? Aranya, she's giving me hearts. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. I love it. All right, so 2-minute story. Again, what did I just say? You don't want to throw up on people, right? They don't need to know your whole life story. They don't need to know all of Opulence history for 20 years. I mean, think about that. I could talk about Opulence for a long time. Yeah, exactly, Herrick. We want stories to catch people's attention, not to have them rolling their eyes, looking at their watch and thinking, how do I get out of this conversation, right? Okay, so there's a formula to it. Where are all my math loving people? Put your hands up or give me an emoji. Who loves math and science? This is more like your roadmap again, right? We've probably got a lot of creatives in here too, so that's okay. I like both. So your 2-minute story, this is really important. This is really important because you can tell, if you know me, you can tell I'm a little tired tonight because I'm really having to pull myself back into the map here. Your 2-minute story is important because you want it to be short and sweet. You want to capture people's attention. And you're creating curiosity when you're doing this. So this is really a formula. And I know we have this 2-minute story training available somewhere, but if you can't find it and you need it, I would say take a screenshot of this or write your notes, because these are really important. You want to talk about when you launched your business, and that's number of days, number of weeks, months, years. So for me, what day is today? July 22nd today. So in another week and a half, I launched my business 17 years ago, August 7th, 2008. So when did I launch my business? 2008, 17 years ago. Why you started your business. So this one's really important. More money, less stress, you hate your job, more time with your family, make the world a healthier place. But, if that has changed, that's okay. So like for me, my 2-minute story is that I launched my business 17 years ago. And the reason I did is because I could see that it was a good way to make extra income around what I was doing. But since then, now it's also that I need retirement income, that I want to be able to take care of my parents at a very different level. And I want the freedom to totally control all of my life, that if I don't like what's going on in my country, I can leave my country. So your why might change over time, but you want to refine and define what that is for you, not just because I want to make extra money. Why do you want to make extra money? Well, I want to be able to send my kids to university. I want to put my kids in private school like Renee does with his kids. I want them to get, specialized coaching lessons. There's lots of different, your reason is, your why is very personalized, right? Who introduced you to the business? Family, friends, social media, somebody at a networking event. It could be any of those things. And the reason why you're telling them that is to show them, I'm just like you. Somebody introduced me to this business just like I'm introducing you to the business. Include now you can do product testimonials or business testimonials. So if you're newer, you might be using product testimonials to rely on. What did the product do for you? That's what, Fountain of Life changed my health, which is why I wanted to share it with other people. Or it could be business testimonials. So there's lots of different reasons. You have to take some time and craft this 2-minute story for yourself. You write it out just like you're writing a little essay, and refine it and refine it and refine it. Share it with your My5, share it with other partners. This is a great way because this is basically starting to build your personal brand in Opulence. All right, so 2-minute story, these are the things that you should stick with. And and then practice it so that when you get up in the front of the room for a testimonial and you're asked for your 2-minute story, literally you can do it in 2 minutes or less. Because imagine when we have big power tours, right? And we want to get 5 or 6 people up giving testimonials. They can't all do 10-minute testimonials. That would be an hour of testimonials. And then people lose the attention, right? We want to be short and sweet. Literally, when you meet somebody in an elevator or, in line at a grocery store, you can give this 2-minute story really quickly, get their contact information, and then follow up with them after. All right, so here we are. We are at in-person tour presentation tips. I am excited about this section. I'm very, very passionate about this section. Why? Because if you've been to enough presentations and we've got so many phenomenal presenters in Opulence. We have amazing presenters in Opulence that get up there and they make it look so easy. And I know, especially for those who are shy and maybe a little hesitant to get up and present, it's practice. It's practice and it's knowing the formulas, right? And it's having a system to get up and make sure that our presentations, again, they're like the DMO, the roadmap. You have a way to do them and you just follow that process every time. So you want to remember that your prospects are not making a one-time purchase, right? This is a long-term commitment. This is not about a transactional sale. This is about building that relationship from the first time you met them or encountered them to the first time you asked them if they were open to taking a look at the opportunity, finding out why they're looking for an opportunity, and then, hopefully you're going to bring them into your team. Well, that's actually just the beginning of your relationship with these people. And there are many successful people in this industry that's why they're successful, because they have built long-term relationships with people that they've brought into their team. So when a prospect sees your business tour for the first time, they're looking at 3 things. 1, what is the business? 2, can they benefit from the business? And 3, how do you do the business? So what is the business? What's in it for me? And how do you do the business? These are 3 things you want to write down because you want to remember this driving philosophy when you're having the conversations with people. So it's important to showcase the support, the unity, and the teamwork before and immediately after they've seen the tour. So what does this mean? When you are bringing somebody, first of all, for all of the partners, it's important that you are all understanding that on tour night, this isn't really, I mean, it's a sociable time, but it isn't a time to be socializing. This is a time where you're actually on stage and you're creating a performance together as a group of partners. You want that new guest to come in and see that you're all working together. You want to see that you're all in alignment with each other, that you've got teamwork there, and that you are all working towards the same vision, which is to build the Opulence Nation. So this is really important. You want to be not gossiping about, everyday things. You really want to be thinking about the conversations you're having around people, especially welcoming new people. Imagine when you go to a party and you don't know anybody and you come with one friend who knows the whole room and you don't know anybody. How would you feel if they were all talking about what their spouse was doing last night or what they're going to do on the weekend? Like, that's not welcoming to the new person. So you want to be thinking about this when you're bringing people into the presentation. You want to be sticking with your prospect at all times, right? Because you don't want to dump somebody in a room at a party and leave them alone. It's not really nice. So this is really important because you want to make your prospects feel the unity. You want them to feel the caring in the team before the tour, but also right after. Because what this is doing is giving them hope. It is showing them what hope looks like. It is showing them something that is different than in the rest of the world. And this is why we call this the Opulence Nation, because we are a separate nation where we can come in and have a completely different culture than what is going on in the world right now. Like, we are selling hope as much as we are selling luxury. And we're showing people that they're in the business for themselves, but not by themselves. So if we only talk to other partners and don't talk to the new people coming into the room, it shows them that we don't really work together. We want people to feel welcome, like they are part of the group from the very first minute they come in. What people are buying is not just the opportunity, they are buying the experience of a group of people that are different than where you find anywhere else. That's really, really important for us to remember. All right, so we have one system virtual tour process. So I'm kind of referring to the live tours in that one, but you also have your virtual tours, right? So if somebody can't make it to a live tour, which is entirely possible in this day and age, we're working globally, so we can be interacting with people in different countries and different time zones. I mean, I just want to say, God bless all of you in the Asia markets, in other parts of the world that get on here. You're 12, 13, 8, 9, like the 8 and 9 hour ones are really weird off from our times in Canada when we're having these trainings live. I want to say I'm so impressed with all of you. Some of you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get on the presentations and the trainings. Rico is, I don't even know if that guy sleeps, to be honest. I'm sure he's taking a lot of Fountain of Life and Divine, but he is always seems to be available and communicating back to me when I communicate to him. And I know we're like opposite times on the clock. So good for you guys. When you need to use the virtual tour, we now have it so easy. It's never been this easy. Like, I'm so excited about this. You go directly to your own website, opulence.com/RebRob, because I would like you all to be in my team. And go to the opportunity page. You can send them the link direct to the opportunity page from your website, and you can connect with them to watch the opportunity tour together. You can arrange for them to watch it, and you will follow up immediately after they've watched it. Or you can get on a Zoom. You can open up the PowerPoint presentation for an in-depth walkthrough, or you can invite them to one of our web tours. So we have our LD4 tours on Monday nights, and let somebody else present for you. So even if it's day one, you don't don't have to worry about doing the presentation. As you hear the presentations over and over and over, you will naturally get to know what to say, and you just have to follow along on the slide. But all the tools are here. And what I love is that they are now all in one place. And they're going right to your website, not to YouTube. And why is that important? Because if I send somebody to go watch a tour on YouTube, what do you see on YouTube? Like when you go on there, are you only seeing the video that you're watching, or do you see a whole list of other videos that can like distract you like a squirrel? Right? So now we have a beautiful system where it's all in our own website. We can send them the links and we keep them focused on us. That's the beauty of this. All right. And it's one system. So you can train every single person in your team to do the exact same thing. And hopefully at some point you're creating a recording of your own presentation, because then you can literally send out your presentation of you doing the tour to anybody in the world. And it's so easy. It's links, right? Send the link, use the prints. All right. So I just want to make sure forensic post tour. So we went through this really quick. Do we have any questions? I see a hand raised, so we can get to your question in a minute. But we want to talk about fail-proof process to convert your prospects, okay? So the environment that they're in is important. And then we have a system that we want to use to make sure that we convert these prospects into customers and team members. So one, arrive early. So if the tour is starting at 7 p.m., it should be starting at 7 p.m. sharp, not waiting for other people to show up and trickle in 5, 10, 25 minutes late. If the meeting starts at 7, you start at 7. Because whether it's virtual or in person, the people who are arriving on time shouldn't have to wait for the people who are not on time. And this builds like and trust right? It builds confidence with people that you say you're going to start on time, you do, but also you want to get there early so that you can introduce people, again, virtually or in person, to any other partners that are in the meeting so that they can make a connection and start to build that like and trust. Then you want to introduce them to as many other partners as possible, right? So this is, again, instead of throwing somebody into a room full of strangers and just walking away, you're going to connect them all. In particular, if you know that other people in the room are going to have some kind of relatability, like, in Ottawa, we know that Rama's a nurse. And so if I bring a nurse in, I'm going to connect those two, right? Introduce them. So then avoid the back seats. You do not want, unless you think you have a negative person, you really want to think about this. But generally speaking, people with open minds that they're eager, they want to learn more about our business, you want them to sit in the front row. And ideally, you want to sit with them. Although I know we've had rooms pretty tight before where the partners will go out so that the guests can sit in there. But you want to have them sit in the front row. You want to stay in the room with your prospect. You want to stick to your prospect like glue. So again, don't just arrive, sit them at the table, go and get a coffee, talk to the other partners because you think it's social time. Like, you're actually working. Tours are working time, whether you have a guest or not. You want to arrange with the presenter to invite you to share a product or business testimonial, because what this is doing is creating third-party credibility. So if you're not presenting, but you have a guest with you, you want to go up to the front of that room or get on the Zoom and give a testimonial, because it builds credibility when somebody else is bringing you up, and that person is more likely to do business with you. And then these things, these crazy addictive technology things called phones, they shouldn't be out. They should be off or on silent, not even on the table, in my opinion. I'm a little bit old school that way. they should be completely away unless you think you're legit going to have an emergency call, because it's taking attention away from the person at the front of the room or on the Zoom giving the presentation. You want to, even if this is your 10,752nd time listening to the tour, you want to be engaged. You want to be nodding, smiling, responding, laughing, clapping. You are part of the tour, even if you are not giving the presentation. Every single person has to work together to make this happen. All right, assess the room. You want to always assess the room energy. As a presenter, you really want to be watching what people are doing around the room. My assessment of the chat right now is that it's pretty quiet, so I'm not really sure if I've lost you guys, if I've gone frozen on you, but you want to make sure that the energy is high and that it stays high, and that you start basically the post-tour process and the survey in the room with the other prospects. Thank you, Maria. I'm glad you're still with me, emoji queen. Italio, thank you. Yep, I'm glad that it's all great. I know it's a lot of energy, a lot of information tonight too, right? But you want to assess the energy in the room. Also, what they don't have on here, I kind of harped on the phones a bit and the head nodding, but really, you also want to make sure that you are not interrupting, that you're not going in and out, that you're not answering phones, you're not, everything. You want to be focused on the presenter, and the presenter actually needs your energy as well to keep things going. Okay, so that's really important. In and out of the room all the time, off and on the microphone on Zoom is really, really distracting for everybody. And we want our new prospects to be able to actually have the benefit of hearing all of this information without distractions, right? And then, especially because most times we're doing tours in the evening, right? We're prospecting with people who have full-time jobs, who have busy family lives. They say, okay, I'm available at 8 o'clock, I'm available at 9 o'clock. But then they've had a full day, right? So maybe their energy is waning a little bit. You want to make sure that you're eliminating as many distractions as possible. And then welcome the new launches loudly for others to hear. So as soon as you have somebody say yes, you want to make sure that everybody knows this person has finally made the decision. And then when leaving the meeting, make an effort to say goodbye to your other partners. So sometimes people will silently slip out, but it's really part of also showing the community to those prospects that even when you're leaving, you can go around and say a quick goodbye. Hey, great to see you this week. I'll see you next week, or I'll see you at the boot camp, or I'm going to see you at the gala and the grand opening. But it shows the community, and we're not faking it. We really have an amazing community within Opulence. It's really quite magical. And we just want to be able to be mindful that we actually want to show people this is the community that is so special to us. And then just to remember that momentum is everything in the post-tour phase. Everything we do has to be with purpose. It's really easy sometimes to get into going through the motions, and we know what the routine is, but remember, for that person that's coming to see this for the first time, this is they're looking to see, is this the place for me to plant my home and have a business? And are these the people that I actually want to work with, right? These are things to keep in mind. So after the tour, it's important to translate that excitement and curiosity you've generated into the meaningful next steps. Answer the questions, answer all the questions, offer a promotion. We always have a build assist or something going on. Ramin keeps outdoing himself with what he offers us all the time, but you want to offer that promotion, give them every opportunity to say yes. Recommend the LADE package, because obviously we don't want anybody walking away, leaving money on the table and saying, oh, you didn't even tell me about that. Make no assumptions. The only assumption you want to make is that they definitely want to partner with us. Fill out the survey. The survey is going to give you a roadmap for your conversation with them, and then give them a thank you gift card. I mean, you could, I love the gift cards. This is a whole business in itself. You can generate a very low dollar amount gift card and people will be very excited. It is a nice thank you. If you were going to spend $10 to buy them a coffee and a donut, give them a $10 thank you card for coming and taking a time to look at your business. It's marketing, it's promoting your business. They're very likely to go on and buy something and use the $10 to cover whatever, right? Cover the shipping or cover the tax. It's a really great way to say thank you for that person's time, especially if you're in a larger city where it takes a long time to, travel between destinations. It's just a really nice way to stand out again and appreciate and value the time of that person. All right, so this is it for tonight. Woo, you guys, look at me. I got us through just after 10 o'clock. I think we did have a couple of questions there. So what I'm gonna do is stop sharing my screen. And let's bring back our amazing, amazing host who I don't know if you guys have been tuning in to every single training lately with Nada, but I love listening to her host. I
Oh
can't
my
wait to
goodness.
host again because I feel like I have to up my game now.
Oh my gosh, I am really a fan of yours. My goodness. I'm learning a lot. That's what it is. Like, I don't know about the others, but I cannot miss your training, what you're doing. I mean, it's amazing. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening, sir. Our CEO Ramin is here. How are you doing, sir?
I am
Pleasure to
wonderful.
have you here on our call, Launchpad call with our lovely Miss Rebecca Robinson. Yes,
That's,
yes. How are you enjoying your summer?
that's fantastic. Well, I was away. I just arrived last night from LA, visiting all of our factories. I'm excited about what we're coming out with, and I did a video about that. I haven't released yet, I don't think. But yeah, I just wanted to come in tonight, maybe say a few words about my trip, and then sit back with everyone and just listen and learn. I want to congratulate you for being a host, and it's
Yes,
fantastic.
sir.
And I love seeing new people just come on board and just taking over. It's fantastic.
Thank you, sir. I cannot wait to be your host too.
Let's go. You
Thank
know, I
you.
missed this call, and I'm gonna come back time to time, and I do miss this call because I always got so much information that we don't actually have in our trainings, and those are the type of things that people enjoy, and those are the type of information you could use in a one-on-one presentation. We're in more storytelling business, and so we got all these great stories to share. You bond with people, so I'm gonna try to. We'll start this on us as well. That try to come by more often and maybe take some of these calls and do it myself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We look forward to that. You coming back to our launchpad call, of course. Everyone, thank you. Good evening to you again, once again. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Miss Rebecca. Did a wonderful job. Thank you for everything you have taught us for the last few weeks that you have done. The launch is really remarkable. Perfect. I can't wait to have my turn too. Yeah, but of course, everything is but a learning opportunity. We are all leaders in the making. We really thank you for your inputs and everything that has happened from the past. Our product crossfire with our SVPs and us, Human. It's really, really, really exciting. I salute everyone. We are all leaders in the making. Don't forget, guys. Thank you so much, CEO Ramin, for showing up for us tonight. We can wait to have your meeting also, and you're also training us and just powering us up. All right. So,
Actually, we're gonna have a very important grand opening call being announced this week. Don't miss that. Very, very important. This, by the way, it's gonna be live streamed too. So it doesn't matter when the world you are, you're gonna be part of the celebration. So make sure you guys don't miss the upcoming call We may do it on a Monday call or Tuesday call, maybe doing Saturday morning call. Either way, you look out for it. Be part of the celebration. This is a big deal.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. And like what I've said, clock is ticking. If you have not done so or reserve your seat or have not made your proper arrangement, our grand event, of course, the grand opening, it is a must to attend. So like once again, I know this is my last week of hosting. I really had fun. Thank you so much. And to all the presenters that I have hosted, you are remarkable. I salute each and every one of you. I hope that there be more. I am super excited, super pumped with our Opulence Global. Thank you so much. And of course, what do we say at the end? One team, one dream, one system to the
One
billion.
system.
Let's go,
to the
team.
billion.
Let's go. Love you. Salute to all of you. Have a good night.
You got this job forever. That's it. This is fantastic.
Salute. All right, sir. Thank you so much. Love you guys.
Good night,
Salute.
everybody.
Good night.